Good morning, everybody. What's up? It's me, Jessica, and it's day 130 of our motivational videos. I hope you're having a good afternoon. Sorry it's a little late. Thursday's been my day off, so I just been taking it a little easy this morning, dealing with some stuff, trying to crack into a little bit of homework. Really just trying to adjust to my new schedule of, working full time, at my job, and then also going to school full time, and then, I have my business at home, friends, and the gym, and these videos, and personal development, and it's just, I'm trying to figure out how and adjusting, to the schedule, and really working it out on paper, how to fit everything in, and still be able to get a little extra sleep on my days off. Today, it's Thoughtful Thursday, so of course I gotta come to you with stuff to think about, okay? Seriously, let me get a drink really quick. Hold on. Seriously though, this video may be a little bit more for us women. I feel, with that fog that's going around a lot, ladies and women and girls are finding themselves, staying around in unhealthy relationships, whether it's with their boyfriend or even just friendships. We tend to really love full-heartedly and hang on until we really just have nothing left to hang on to, right? Or until we're just completely drained out. Women, we tend to just give ourselves completely, whenever we have a feeling for someone of caring, of love, compassion, we just give ourselves full-heartedly. We want the best for that person, we'll do what we can for that person, even to the point where it hurts ourselves. We really just love to give, and we gotta learn, as women and as people, to give, but make sure you don't give to the point where you're losing yourself, okay? You want to be a person of value, and you want to be able to bring things to people, but you don't want to leave yourself with nothing, okay? You don't want to end up, being that person at the end of the day that's just crying because it's just oh my gosh, you have nothing left for yourself. You have nothing left in you. No money left, no time left or anything, because you just gave it all away to other people. You got to still have that time for yourself, because you got to take care of your journey, your success, okay? We are here to bring value to other people, but in order to be that value, you have to spend time with yourself and on your dreams and on your goals, and really figure out what you are worth. Figure out what you stand for, and don't let any wave or person or anything make you crumble from that. Stand up for what you believe in, on how you want to be talked to, how you want to be treated, where you're trying to take your business, where you're trying to take your life. Stand up for it, alright? Don't let anybody make you change your mind unless it's for the better, but make sure you stick up for yourself. Make sure you know when enough is enough, excuse me. So that brings me to our quote for today, alright? It says, "The day she let go of the things that were weighing her down was the day she began to shine the brightest." And I just love that. And it doesn't have to be just for women. You'd say the day you let go of the things that are weighing you down are the day that you will begin to shine the brightest. That's how I'll change it for you. I'll read it again like that. The day you let go of the things that are weighing you down is the day that you will begin to shine your brightest. So stop letting people or things weigh you down. And know when enough is enough, okay? And I'll read something. I was reading this little article. It's called Relationships That Hurt, When Enough is Enough, okay? Not just in a, boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband-wife situation, or, girlfriend situation, or whatever. But friends, just people in your life. Everybody you meet, you build a relationship with them, right? You got to make sure that those relationships are healthy and beneficial for you, and that you're being, the relationship with you is beneficial to that person. It needs to be a common ground, a two-way street. It can't be give, and take. Okay, it's got to be equal on both aspects, or somebody's going to end up not feeling adequate. Somebody's going to end up wondering what's wrong with them, or, or they're not going to be happy, or, it's not going to be right, okay? It's got to be a two-way street. So in this article, they talked about, giving yourself full-heartedly and, either trusting somebody or not trusting somebody is how the author started in life, okay? It was either, she completely trusted you with everything, or I didn't trust you and I questioned everything you did. And then she learned, that she was limiting her relationships by not recognizing the gray area, where people are just human and people make mistakes, okay? Everybody needs forgiveness. Everybody needs understanding. Nobody's perfect. But from that moment on, she decided to trust everyone. Instead of questioning people, she decided to trust everybody. I've been there personally. I just try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and just trust them from the start. And like she says, I trusted everyone. I refused to consider that someone's actions might reflect that they didn't truly care. And I stayed in a lot of unhealthy relationships throughout my life while making excuses for people. I wanted them to care. I wanted to believe they valued me, and that it only meant I was interpreting incorrectly their actions, and she was just interpreting them wrong. So she made it. She went to the point where she either trusted somebody or didn't. And then she realized that she was, limiting possibly her relationships with people. So she decided to trust everyone so that she could, meet more people, bring more people into her life. And with trusting everyone, she ended up staying in bad relationships. She ended up making excuses like, okay, well, they're just human, so maybe they didn't mean it that way. And the truth is, sometimes they didn't, and other times people do mean to be that way. Sometimes people are knowingly hurtful or neglectful. It says we need to be able to recognize that, or we'll end up feeling disempowered, disrespected, and stuck. Nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody likes to feel that way, especially when you really, care about somebody, when you really love someone, when you, friend, boyfriend, or not, when you begin to care about a person, you want to not think that they're doing things to hurt you, okay? But by constantly never realizing the reality of the situation, sometimes you end up hurting yourself, all right? So it says, so how do you know when to stay or when to walk away? How do you know when you're not reading into things too much or being too paranoid and making mountains out of molehills, or rather just simply seeing things how they really are? How do you know? How do you really know what people are meaning? Are you thinking too much, or are they really being that hurtful or neglectful, all right? But it says, after placing myself in plenty of these situations more times than I'd like to count throughout my life, I developed a little 3-question guide that's helped to recognize when enough is enough. And I really like these, so I just want to share them with you. I just thought this was really interesting because, you are the average of the 5 most people you hang around. So we need to make sure that those people are of value, that they're not taking away from you, that they're adding to you while you're adding to them, and it's just a constant beneficial, double street relationship. All right, so question number 1 to ask yourself is, do their actions frequently contradict their words? All right, anyone can contradict themselves once or twice. We're only human, and sometimes we make mistakes. But if it's consistent behavior, then it's time to be questioned, okay? This says, number 2, do you frequently make excuses for these people, to yourself or to others? Right? If you often find yourself in a position where you need to defend the other person, odds are there's a consistently unacceptable behavior that you're just trying to justify. All right? What does this say? An old friend of mine once dated someone who'd get mean and nasty, mostly to her, but also to her friends occasionally. She'd explain how he'd had a difficult childhood and that she wouldn't walk out on him like everyone else had. Admirable, though, that might have sounded, she communicated through her actions that it was okay for him to treat her badly because of all he'd been through. Right? It's great to be compassionate, but we need to be compassionate with ourselves first. And that means acknowledging what's just not okay. Okay? And question number 3. Does this person turn things around on you as if their actions are your fault? All right? That's a big one. You know, if you know, like in relationships, let me just read what she wrote. Never mind my tangent, because I really like what she put in here. It can be difficult to recognize those consistently unacceptable actions if you conceive yourself you're somehow responsible for, if you convince yourself you're somehow responsible for them. Sorry, I can't read this morning. So let me start over. The third question is, does this person turn things around on you as if their actions are your fault? And it says, it can be difficult to recognize those consistently unacceptable actions if you convince yourself that you're somehow responsible for them. You might tell yourself that they regularly ignore your needs because you're too needy, or they belittle you because you've made mistakes in your past. You might tell yourself even this. You might... oh, this is crazy. Let me just say. In other words, you might justify their mistreatment because they try to make you feel like you're the wrong one, or the crazy one, or you don't understand. When someone truly cares, they don't use your mistakes or imperfections to justify neglect or emotional blackmail. I formerly found myself in quite a few relationships like this, the author wrote, likely because I was recreating the dynamics of a core relationship from my childhood. There came a point when I realized that people who truly respected me would encourage me to grow, but they wouldn't let my weaknesses become an excuse to intimidate or disparage me. No matter what you've done or how you sometimes struggle, you deserve to be in healthy relationships with people who treat you well. In retrospect, she realized she lied to herself repeatedly because she felt unworthy. And I feel a lot of us in life do that, right? It was hard to believe, that last part, that you're not worthy. You know, it somehow brought pain. How can you, accept and believe that you somehow are actually responsible for bringing hurtful and sometimes damaging situations upon yourself, right? That's a hard one to admit, but you got to realize when enough is enough, So, those are 3 really good questions. And I just want to go back to this part where it says, there came a point when she just realized that people who truly respected her would encourage her to grow, but they wouldn't let her weaknesses become an excuse to intimidate her. I feel like people do that a lot. They're like, oh yeah, I believe in you. But the second you screw up, they are there to point it out. And they don't do it in the nice ways. They do it in the mean ways. That's how you can really tell, right? There's the constructive criticism, okay? And then there's just the pure nastiness. Like, people just want to hurt you. And they don't care how it is. It's something that's going around that I've noticed, through Facebook feeds, through, just talking to people as I've started school, and meeting, these people. It just seems like a lot of people are just wondering, is it them or is it the other person? Like, whether it's their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their best friend, their cousin, their aunt, their mom, what they just wonder why their relationships with these people aren't how they would want them to be. Why do these people do this to me? Why does this happen? We wonder these things, so then we end up blaming ourselves. We start making excuses, and that's not alright, okay? You really just need to step back. Take some time, you guys. If you want to read this article yourself, I'll post the link in the bottom of the video, and, reach out to me if you want to.